welcome to Daily Dispatch powered by HSBC. I'm Priya Sheth, and joining me on this very interesting conversation is Akash Gupta from Zypp. Thank you very much, Akash, for joining us today. I want to begin by talking a little bit about what the government has announced in the budget before I get into the business, because it's been a huge positive for the EV sector. So tell us a little bit about what you feel are the key takeaways and what is your sense on the budget.
Sure, thanks. Thanks, Priya, and thanks, YourStory and Daily Dispatch for having me here. Yes, so yesterday's announcement from, the finance minister is very positive, right, towards the entire EV industry. Talking about battery swapping standards and, creating interoperability between different batteries. I think that's something that's a step in the right direction, because frankly, there's a lot of confusion on how to swap which battery, which connector. Different OEMs are trying to do different things, but this is where standardization was much more needed. And I think this is also a good point that EVs are a major focus area when it's coming in the budget, right? It just talks about the government's focus towards sustainability and electric mobility in itself as a segment.
Right. Thanks for that, Akash. I want to talk a little bit about how the last couple of months have been for you at Zypp and what 2022 really looks like.
Well, the last, last 5 months have been crazy for us, right? We've almost grown 6x as a business, right? The demand is zoomed up like anything. It is because of a couple of reasons, to be very frank. One, the rise of quick commerce has come in quite aggressively, right? And we being the players who are switching all the last mile deliveries to go pollution free, to go electric, right? So it has given us a huge boost. Plus, there are a few problems which were in the supply chain that we were working very closely with the OEM partners to see that how they can ramp up the supply to close to 1,000-1,500 vehicles a month, which we could onboard. And now, thankfully, they are also showing some good promise in terms of their deliveries. So we are now close to about 1,000 vehicles onboarding a month, right? And we would love to ramp it up to about 2,000 in the next 2-3 months as this goes along. So yeah, positive 6x growth. So yeah, it's just the beginning.
Right. For 2022, I want to understand what would be your key pillars of focus, what would be the areas that you would be really focusing on, and how this would aid your larger strategy that you just spoke about.
Yeah. So 2022 is, according to me, it's a game-changing year for the entire electric mobility, as a segment. It started off towards the fag end of 2021, and now 2022, it'll pick up, a major share, right? Why? Because a lot of governments are pushing logistics to go 100% electric. There are, those specific initiatives being taken by different state governments and central governments. And hence, for us, the big focus area is actually to grow from, roughly about 5,000 EVs, which we have now, to grow to, 25,000 by December this year, right? So we are looking at a rapid expansion, onboarding about 2,000 a month, and hence, we'll be able to hit 25,000-30,000 EVs. And the next focus area for us is, while we are a strong player in Delhi NCR, right, with 90% of our fleet deployed here, we would love to expand to Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Chennai, which are the hot markets for all the other, partner brands who work very closely with us. Right. So these are the two major focus areas, along with, growing the right talent in the team. Right. So we are hiring quite aggressively, right from, the management to the tech folks, to a bunch of people who are launching different cities for us. So yeah, these are a few strategic priorities. Alongside, one of the other things that we want to build is the entire EV ecosystem. Right. So we've made some forays into partnerships with the right OEMs, the right battery players, some of the people who are into charging swapping space, some people who are doing spare parts. We've also, just invested in a company to drone deliveries. So these are, few segments which are very related to our business and, overall EV ecosystem. The idea is to build this, stack together, because then we become a one-stop shop for anyone to go electric. That's what Zypp is.
Right. For this kind of aggressive expansion, I want to understand what kind of investments you're looking at. Is there a ballpark in terms of how much you'd like to expand both your capacity as well as invest in that as well?
Yeah. So if you look at in terms of investment over the next 24, 36 months, we would be investing close to 50 to 60 million dollars into this business, right? Growing it quite aggressively. The good part is that we being asset light, we don't have to invest in vehicles ourselves. We have a very interesting model where all the 5,000 fleets that we have, they are invested by HNIs. So there are people like you and me who invest in these bikes, and we give them a healthy return, a rev share based healthy return, and that model has kicked off very well. So that is an additional, since we are looking at 30-40,000 more vehicles if you look at the next 18 months. So we'll find more HNIs to invest. We'll find more NBFCs, fintech companies who are coming forward and take that mantle for us. But at the same time, to set up our parking hubs, charging hubs, technology, product, and team, that's where we'll make most of our investments, which are close to 50-60 million dollars, over the next 12 to 18 months to 24 months.
Right. So are you speaking to private equity investors for this kind of investment, or where would the funds be drawn from?
Yeah, at the moment we are scaling up. So we recently closed our Series A, right, which got us to this rapid growth of about 30-35% month on month, which is looking very healthy. At the same time, there's a lot of interest in the EV segment now, especially impact investments, sustainable investments are coming forward, and those are mostly global guys who are wanting to partner in our journey. So I would say, quote unquote, we should be open, to look at serious investments over the next, 45 to 60 days.
A final question before I let you go. On the revenue front, what kind of revenue targets do you have, and are there any short to medium term targets that you've set for yourself?
Okay. Yeah. So in terms of revenue numbers, we are clocking almost at a $6 million ARR, at the moment. Over the next 3 months, we should be in the $10 million range, right? And if you look at the next 12 months, we've set ourselves towards a 45 to $50 million kind of an ARR.
All right. We wish you all the very best in scaling up your business and in your growth plans going forward. Thank you so much for being a part of the Daily Dispatch. It's really been a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks so much for your time.